So if you haven't already turned into part 1 of this, please tune in. That part is about the palette that I got from this company to review. So this portion is going to be about the brushes, okay? And what I received from CPC was their eye brush set, which was 9 brushes. And let me just say, a couple of these brushes I am in love with. I do have one qualm with them, which is not really a qualm or a defect, but it's basically a personal preference. The brush handles are just a little bit shorter. I am a fan of the longer brush handles. So I'm going to say, I know I have this brush in MAC. So if I put them side by side, the brush handle is just a little bit shorter. This is MAC, this is CPC. Just a tad bit shorter. I wish they were a little longer, but hey, that's just a personal preference. Now this eye set for all 9 brushes is going to cost you, I believe the price was $58. So that's going to run you about $6.50 per brush, which if you are doing it in MAC conversions, for $50, you'll probably get around 2 brushes, 2.5, maybe 3. For $50, you're going to get all 9 brushes. So the first brush I'm going to start off with is their version of the 224 brush. And I can honestly say I like this better than the MAC 224. When I washed it, I had just a tiny bit of dye come out. After that, on the second wash, there was no dye. I also noticed that it kept its shape, but it's not as big, okay, and round, and as you can see, it's uber soft. It's not as big as the MAC 224. So actually, when I go to blend out my looks, this actually does it perfectly. And it's also not as scratchy as the MAC one. That MAC 224 is hella scratchy for the price that I had to pay for it. So I wish I would have known. The next brush that I have is the 239. Now I like this brush, but it is a little bit different than the MAC 239, but it's also the closest dupe that I've seen for it besides the Low Cornell paint brush. This brush, I'm dropping stuff. This brush is just a tad bit bigger. Since it's white, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. It's just a tad bit bigger than the MAC 239. And let me see if I can find it so I can show you a comparison between the two. Okay. The MAC 239 is a little bit smaller. You see the two? So this one, they are shaped the same. They're both uber soft. This one isn't as dense as the MAC 239. But it's just a tad bit bigger. So this is like medium and this is like large. That's how I would compare the two sizes. But it applies makeup just the same. Closest dupe. It's better than the Sigma dupe for it. The next brush that I have is the 252. And I just love this brush. I don't have this in MAC and I don't need it. I'm not going to buy it because this brush is perfect. It packs on color perfectly. It's nice and soft. It's nice and dense. This brush is perfect. The CPC 252. Then we have this one. I just used it, so excuse the dirt and grime on it. This is the 222 version. And it is quite different from the MAC 222. So I'm going to say no, this brush is not like this one, but it is a great alternative. This one is just a tad bit more scratchier than my MAC 222. And as you can see, even if I place it, the bristles on this are shaped far shorter than this. Also, it's much denser than the 222. When you are actually in there doing the blending, it doesn't make a difference, and this one is actually a little bit more precise. But I do prefer, for some reason, my 222 just a little bit better because it does give me like that more airbrushed effect. But this is a good brush. I wouldn't say it was a dupe for the 222, but it is a great alternative brush to it. The next brush is actually one of my favorite brushes by MAC, and it is the 217. So you know I was critical as a mug with this brush. Now let me see if I can find a 217. I didn't clean my MAC brushes, so excuse the dirty brushes. So what I can say is it's a little bit fatter, okay? And the shape is just a little bit off, but it is a close comparison to the MAC 217. The numbers came off of this one. It's nice and soft, but it is a little bit fatter. So when it does blend out, you have to be careful to just be very precise. And also with this brush, when you wash it, you're definitely going to have to shape it, because this one can lose its shape quite easily. So to keep it with like this, as close to this 217 as possible, you might want to use a brush guard with it. The next brush that I have that I never really found a use for until I started using the CPC brush, and now I use this brush daily, is the 275, and I actually want to get a backup in this brush. This is the angled blending brush, and I can say this brush, when you're placing color straight into your crease, does it perfectly. It makes it so much easier. I never found a brush that I liked. This is butter smooth. It feels just, let me just show you. Look, you can tell how it's so soft. So I really do love this brush. Next is the 266. I don't have the dupe for this in MAC, but I can say I love this brush, and the thing that I love it for the most is applying color under the eye. It is perfect for getting under the eye. I wouldn't recommend using this brush for eyeliner because it is a little thick, but it is great for doing precise work underneath the eye, applying shadows and everything. The next brush is the liner brush, and this is the 209, and I love this brush. It's great for applying your cream, and doing a winged look is beyond easy with this brush. And the last brush is the 231, and this is the one brush that I haven't really used all that much. I used this brush once just to apply, you know, shadow under the eye and to pat on top of my eyeliner, the black shadow, but that was about it. I really didn't use this one too much. But I can say that compared to MAC brushes, $6.50 each is not a bad price. You're going to be getting a full set. I do not know about their face brushes. I have not tried them yet. Hopefully one day I will, but I would definitely recommend these, and I do think that these are very close dupes. Some of the best ones, like I said, the 224 is better than the MAC. The 252 is one of the best brushes I've ever tried, period. The 275 is one of the best brushes I've tried. I love the 266 for placing shadows under my eyes. And the 239 is the closest dupe, besides the Low Cornell paintbrush, that if you can't find, is this. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be purchasing, with my own money, some backups of some of these. And I might go back and purchase the face brushes just to give them a try, being that I had such a good experience with the eye brushes. But if you have any questions whatsoever, be sure to leave them down below. I can only answer questions about the products that I have reviewed. I don't feel comfortable answering other questions, so if you have other questions that are other than what I said here in this video, or the products that I reviewed, I recommend you go check out their site. But all the links and information will be down below. Bye, my beauties.